1. Madam Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why STEM-educated engineers and scientists leave the Philippines is primarily because of the lack of opportunity. Make no mistake, this is one of the hardest things that young people have to do, wherein they have to leave the comforts of what they knew from the food, the people, the culture, in order to blaze a trail and conquer the unknown, wherein they have to learn a new language and assimilate to a new kinds of people. It's quite difficult. And that's why these OFWs are modern day heroes because of the sacrifice they make for themselves, for their family, and for the Filipino people when they return home remittances at the expense of all of these tears and in some instances, sweat and blood. This particular debate presents a unique opportunity for them to be able to position their particular experience abroad, wherein they now have an increased perceived value for their career as an opportunity to repatriate and come home, and at a point in which literally be able to get that economic opportunity and job that they left primarily because it wasn't there. So now, the reason why they left is literally being given to them on a silver platter, and we think repatriation is good. You should be able to take that offer. A few strategic observations of top half. Opening government explains and says why it's going to be ass and a bad program because of corruption and a lack of budget. Opening opposition jumps to the impact of brain drain motivated by the idea of nationalism. Number 1, opening government and opening opposition argue the extreme ends of the spectrum. We on closing opposition are going to be charitable, and we're going to say that it's a completely fair and decent burden to say that this particular program won't be God tier, won't be dog shit, won't be super corrupt, won't be the next best thing. It's gonna be mid. But we think mid is safe, and mid is exactly at the point in which you're going to be able to negotiate some sort of career plan and package, which is the POI I raised to Aaron in the 3rd minute of his speech. That literally gives you an opportunity to negotiate, especially at the point in which, galing Australia lan, galing America, galing Germany, magaling yan, kailangan natin yan. You literally have the stamp of approval from these Western white people who are probably going to probably still hire you again if you want to come back, but here it increases your stock value. Number 2, opening government has this doomsday narrative of how it's going to be corrupt and particularly bad. I have a couple of structural reasons why that's not likely to be the case, or even if that's the case, it won't be as bad as they claim it to be. Things revert to the average, it's gonna be mid or not that shitty. A, the DOST and science programs in our country are particularly the least amount of corrupt departments, for the simple reason that who people go here? Locked in, smart, STEM individuals, probably from state universities and colleges, who literally chose that particular career to particularly go into agri, like what we see in UPLB with Erie, or literally choose to form the Philippine Space Program. They could have done other things with their life, becoming an investment banker, a consultant, a venture capitalist, a finance bro. But these people choose those particular obligations. Meaning, these particular people who go into debt and even take the toil of going into education to get in that particular degree goes to show how they particularly likely are as compared to, someone in political economy or political science, no offense meant. B, we think that the nature of the budget is that it's very capital intensive, meaning the technology you need to be able to run those programs is a lot. So, if you're a corrupt state, it's not like you can skim a lot from that particular basket. Most corruption happens in literally developing highways and infrastructure and bridges. There's not much to skim from the Department of Science and Technology, because the things that they need for space, the things that they need for agriculture are literally more expensive as opposed to cloaking that when you're able to just do things like buy nickel and cement. C, and most importantly, my guy, why would the DOST go through all this shit in the info slide if they're just gonna be able to steal it? That might be the worst decision ever, meaning they wouldn't be offering all of these things which include but are not limited to PRC exemption, not needing to renounce your citizenship, or even giving you and your family relocation assistance. This in and of itself goes to show that they're probably willing to not be as corrupt as Imran and Aaron tell you that they're going to be, but instead it's probably going to be particularly mid. That's why my POI to Imran was important, wherein if it's so particularly shitty, then you can come back, you can still have your job in the West. Yes, POI, go for it.
Sure, but where do you get the funding and the budget to bargain in this individual, considering that there's already a concession that the Philippines has limited budget and
It's a new particular program, so the government's hot about it and they want to genuflect and do good to be re-voted and stuff. So the fact that it's new, even if it's corrupt, means you still have money. It's our time to be able to benefit from that in the worst case. The practice history of our side is particularly simple. Meaning, why does the BSP particularly allow you, in the short term, medium term, and long run, a strategic chance for repatriation? Why is this good for you? Number one, a lot of geopolitical uncertainty, like all the ICE shit happening in LA or Trump's MAGA Season 2 protectionism, literally make it particularly sketch and unquestionable to still be abroad as an OFW. Number two, negotiation and leverage that you can get as a big fish in a small pond as opposed to a small fish in a big pond that allows you to do things like negotiate your salary, literally be able to lead research and be able to form your own teams. You have a first mover advantage. Number three, you literally become a pioneer in this particular industry, meaning what are you going to waste? Imran said so himself. 6 months? Who cares? As opposed to like years and decades or a lifetime of literally being able to make change. If CG says that these people are going to be particularly good scientists, then we think they'd be motivated then to literally be able to make good and still be able to come home to their families. As a consequence of them giving that up in the first place in order to get it, we give them a golden ticket and chance to be able to come back and get the best of both worlds. For all of these reasons, we are very proud to stand on side negative.